opportunistic, still rubbing panels as they go together. It's folded the wing mirror in on Gerardo's car.
Misano is such a difficult circuit for these guys to get right. There's a lot of start-stop sections around the back. It's a very, very quick section as well.
It's a fantastic start from the 23. They're 4 wide there by the look of it. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, and welcome to the wonderful, wonderful CDM Boremula 1 World Championship. Nearly forgot the name of my own series there, but that's how long it feels like it's been since we were last here on your screens at Barcelona. But this time I am not alone. I'm delighted to be joined once again by my good friend Jack Johns. Jack, it might feel like a while for me since we were last together in the box, but even more for you, mate.
Yeah, my visa checked out. I'm here in Canada. Didn't quite make it to Spain, but here we go. I obviously saw the broadcast, flicked through, and it was kind of as it was before. It's close racing as we expect. And the same names just popping up at that top end of the field in the same cars, but we're here. We're at Canada. The slipstream is heavy. We're going to mention slipstream every round. This is one of my favourite tracks, actually, Chaz. It has been for a while on the F1 game. I always manage to find pace here. Haven't driven it much on iRacing though, so it might not be on this game. Sim. Nearly said game.
Well,
that was a quick one.
I'm with you on that. I absolutely love this place, but it is so tricky. It's so narrow. And, I mean, the drivers are going to struggle around here tonight with curbs and all sorts, close walls as well. The slipstream into the final chicane will be very, very important indeed. But as you mentioned, last time out, it was the same names once again. 4 wins out of 4 so far this season for Cam Dance. And Silas Kragvrolic and him had a fantastic battle near the end where Silas, unfortunately, just about lost out due to the contact. We'll take a quick look at the championship standings, though. And as you see, we have Cam Dance on 101 points at the top of the table. Silas Kragvrolic next up on 66. His teammate Christian Rose doing a very good job in third. Then it's Blackhall, Zemstra, Newman, Styles. Ben Gregory has dropped down quite a bit after a promising opening couple of rounds. Tim Perry and Ed May round out your top 10. Now, obviously, it's important that because that is going to be the order in which they go out in qualifying. We have our wonderful Jakub Szymanski, who is basically choreographing all of that again for us tonight, so we thank Jakub for that. Looking at the team standings, well, it's a 2-horse race. Benetton and McLaren 6 points apart. 130 points for Benetton, 124 for McLaren. Ferrari on less than half of their points, 59 for them and 52 for Williams Renault. So it is incredibly close in not just the Drivers' Championship, but in the teams as well. So it's about time we actually look at some cars on the circuit, isn't it? Jake Blackhall here, he's been easily one of the fastest all season, to be fair, Jack. He was fastest in pre-season testing, but he's just not had the results come his way, has he?
No, he's found himself in a few sort of incidents that maybe could have been avoided, and not through, well, I can't remember all of them, but from what I remember, not through much fault of his own. Definitely a feisty driver, quick, like you said, he's always up there, and I mean, this is as good as any chance he's going to get of getting that win and breaking that streak that we've seen from Cam Dance, New Zealander.
Yeah, indeed.
Leading the way versus Australia.
Yeah, there's a bit of bragging rights going on there. Cam Dance has literally joined the session within the last 60 seconds, and there is just over 5 minutes of practice left to go. We will bring up the timer so you can see that. As you see there, just 5 minutes left before we go back into one-shot qualifying once again. It's good to have Jack Werrell back with us. Jack on the grid once more. He made his debut back at Imola, and we didn't see him at Barcelona, unfortunately, but he was actually quite impressive with the pace back at Imola, wasn't he? He's going to be one of the first cars out in qualifying, I should say, if not the first car. Yeah, he is the first car out in qualifying, actually. So we'll see where he ends up, because last time he was one of those drivers, wasn't he, that puts a lap in early on but stays quite far up the order.
Yeah, there was many discussions about sort of conditions and the way the track evolves over time, with weather sort of changing and the track getting rubbered in. And obviously these are minuscule. I think personally they're minuscule differences, especially the track rubbering in. And yes, conditions can have a big effect in terms of track cooling and wind direction, which doesn't change too drastically throughout a session. But Jack Werrell was one of those that sort of proved that wrong by putting in an early lap and tending to stay up there, like you said. So we may see him do the same today. That was a pun for Ed May, who is also one of those drivers who I think normally gets an early lap in and stays up there.
Yeah, indeed. Ed is actually very, very quick. We saw him leading a lot of the Australian Prix earlier in the season. He does have the broadcast on in the background as well. He's 10th in the championship at the moment, just 1 point behind Tim Perry, 2 points ahead of Ben Hoffman. His teammate Adam Hedgecock is only 3 points back in 13th position. Sauber at the moment, though, 6th in the team's championship, tied with Prost, Mugen, Honda as well, which is interesting to see. A couple of drivers that we won't have tonight. Unfortunately, we won't have Craig Evans. He is away working on the boat. He has tested out his force feedback and so on the boat, because he said that he's got a different wheel when he's out there that he travels with, and unfortunately it's just not the same, and it's connection-wise it's alright, but he just cannot get on with the car. He can't feel enough of it to get on with it. We won't actually have Silas Craig-Vrolic tonight, unfortunately. 2nd in the championship. He's got laryngitis, so we really do hope you're alright, Silas. We will miss you out there tonight. Easily the most exciting driver, I'd say, we've seen this season is Silas. Who else don't we have? James Leggett has unfortunately withdrawn from the championship, so a replacement has been contacted for James, but we wish him all the best as well. Just thinking who else we don't have. Hasse Raymer doesn't seem to be here tonight. Brian Crowles has been AFK for a while, safe to say, but he hasn't technically withdrawn from the championship. I think soon it might be time to see if we can get someone else in at Tyrrell to maybe replace Brian, but he'll be contacted first. What other news do we have? I suppose there's this. If you look at the side of the Jordan, they have new side pods on this car. Not literally, but they have Benson and Hedges written on it now rather than the big B&H. Thanks to James Leggett for changing that so quickly for us. But to be fair, we've still got a decent number of cars, haven't we, actually, Jack? And one thing we were worried about was the challenge of this circuit sort of putting people off.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of curbs that can throw a challenge around here. Like you said, these cars have always been sensitive to a little bit of oversteer, and once they go, they go. We have seen a few absolutely cracking saves, though, to be fair, which I'm hoping to see. Obviously, I don't want them to end up in the wall, but I'm hoping to see some big slidey saves today. And of course, there's going to be tight racing. There's plenty of it Like you said, there's multiple chicanes, and how brave are they going to be, Chaz? Are they really going to go side by side into these chicanes, or are they going to sit pretty and sort of get that slipstream pass done?
I don't think we're going to have people going side by side. I don't think they're going to be that daft, to be honest with you. They might have the bravery, but I don't think they've got that much daftness in their bodies, to be fair. But you never know. It's been very feisty, but a lot of this championship has been playing it safe and playing the long game, hasn't it? Sitting behind the cars in front and staying in that train, maybe saving a bit of fuel. One thing that Silas did that caught a lot of people out at Catalunya was actually stayed out for about 4 or 5 laps after the main train had all gone in. You know, he realised that so many of them were just holding each other up and slowing down so often that if he could just put in 5 or 6 banzai laps on his own, even without any slipstream, he could gain time. And he gained about 5 positions in the pit stops to that effect, and he was absolutely up there come the end of the race and challenging Cam for a win. So we may see a couple of guys tonight really take a long first run in this race and pit as late as they dare.
Most of the street circuits tend to have a. I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I think they tend to have a slower speed limit in the pit lane. Does that extend the time here for a pit stop, or? I'm
not sure actually. That's something we're going to have to keep our eye on. I think we're definitely going to have to keep our eye on that. I think. We still need to test the strategies, not the strategies. We need to test the logic behind the pace cars all having different speeds, like you mentioned at Imola. Actually,
oh yes,
we need to look at that. Now the pit lanes I know have different speeds. Alton Park has a very painful 31 mile an hour speed, and some circuits are like nearly 80. It's ridiculous. But
I might have half tested that out because there was a safety car in the RLTC on Monday at Twin Ring Motegi. It's been the Porsche all season, and it was doing 37 mile an hour. I thought it was faster than that.
Yeah,
but it was doing. So I don't know if it has to do with pit speed limits instead of the actual car.
Yeah,
but we will find. It's going to be interesting to find that out. I'll look into that.
That's intriguing, actually. That because I know that at Motegi it does feel like a very, very slow pit lane, so that would make sense. So we will have to test that at some point, definitely, when we both get any other evenings free, because I know we're to try and get our schedules to line up at the moment is a nightmare enough for this. But either way, we have Mr. Werrell, the first car out on track tonight, the Stewart Ford, first of 2 in the field. His teammate Jakub Szymanski will be going out a little bit later. We have, I believe, 16 cars on the grid tonight, which is unfortunately the smallest grid that we've got, but I think, to be fair, we've got a number of drivers that have dropped out for not interesting reasons. Sorry, that's really not the right word to use. You know, there's more circumstantial things going on for this one instead of what we've seen before. Anyway, let's have a look.
Here he goes.
Yeah, the Werrell there. You can see in the background, Carn Newen in the Jordan just waiting on the pit exit. But the first lap of the evening in this qualifying session will be set by Jack Werrell. Alex Neller in the chat. Qualifying's in reverse championship order, right? Yes, it is, mate. Jack Werrell is the first car out there. He was a newcomer to the championship at Imola, where he made his debut, and unfortunately had a DNF, and that was very, very sketchy over the curb, to say the least there, as noted by Jack's exhale.
I didn't know. I'm not sure of the track limits around here, to be honest. He's got a purple sector, which is always good as the first car out. But yeah, it looks like he'd take a lot of that first curve, and I don't know if this track allows for that, but he's still going, he's still pushing, so he hasn't thrown it. 130 miles an hour, 137 it shot up to then. There's the big curve that I think you want to avoid on both sides of that chicane in this car. Doesn't get too close to the wall, and then it sticks it to the left-hand side. Now watch this hairpin. This is where we're going to see some dives, I expect. Or maybe some patience where they're just going to wait for the straight after. Straight down to first gear, 35 miles an hour.
Wow.
Smooth on the power. That's where you're going to get some wheel spin and a loss of traction on that rear end. And now, look at this. This is going to feel like an eternity for Jack now. And then it's just all thinking about, you've got to spot that braking zone and you've got to stay calm and absolutely thread the needle through this chicane. 136 has topped the car out. There's the maximum speed. It'll be a bit higher with someone in front of him, and there, do you know what? Nicely done through there. Hit both of those sausages, and well, clean.
That was really tidy lap by Jack Werrell. A 135.876 is the first time on the board tonight, and I would say that is a very, very clean lap indeed. Carn Newen is the next up then in the Jordan. He's not had the easiest of seasons so far, has Carn, but he still pushes on.
I'll tell you what, that was timed to perfection. As soon as he finished his lap, straight on to the next car. I can't remember who it is that's doing the radio messages.
Jakub Szymanski.
It is Jakub. So obviously you can't hear it. But I've still got it on in the background. It's not too loud, so I can't hear it clearly. But it amazes me. It's like he's a leader of the Red Arrows or something. It's coordination, the way he gets them to go. But yeah, doing really well. Let's focus on this lap by Newen.
Yeah, he's got a 135.88 to beat. Werrell actually did a purple sector 1 on his in lap, unfortunately, so he won't be too chuffed with that. The airbox looks a little bit different on this car this time because I got the livery straight off James Leggett yesterday. Actually, no, it was today. That's how bad it is. But I usually paint the airbox to make it look a little bit bigger because on the older Formula 1 cars, there are always quite big holes in the airbox, but this Pro Mazda's got a dinky little sort of high-pressure thing. So it does look a little bit different for any of you nerds out there that have noticed, but now I've pointed it out, I've probably ruined it. Carn Newen is flying, though, with a purple sector, actually. Purple sector 2.
Yeah, it's looking nice. It's 28.93. I'm not sure if that sector 2 of Jack Werrell's been overridden by his current sector, but it's only 300 faster, and there's another purple sector. Where's it going to put him? Straight to the top by 1/10. Or nearly 2/10. That's close.
Really good stuff by Carn Newen, and considering that he's had a bit of a nightmare this season with qualifying as well, he's invalidated a lot of his laps at different circuits, and he's not been qualifying as highly as he would have liked, so he'll be over the moon with that. Really good stuff to go faster than Werrell by 2/10, who showed us how quick he is at Imola. And here is Werrell's teammate now, Jakub Szymanski. You can hear Martin Kenyon, who's got going in the background, the sole remaining Lola in the championship. But Jakub now making his way through this beautiful left-right section. I love this part of the track. It's absolutely awesome to watch, isn't it? It's so narrow, but to be fair, from the onboard we saw of Jack earlier, these cars actually make this track look a bit wide.
They do. You know, I was thinking exactly the same thing. There's plenty of room to race in these. How many wide do you think you can get into there? 4, 5?
Probably.
It's great. I don't know if we will see that, but because, oh man, anyone's stupid enough to make it 4 wide is just gonna deserves a DNF probably. But then again, it'll be entertaining if they all survive. That is a big lock up there into the hairpin for Szymanski. That will probably cost him some time for sure. It depends how much he got off that braking time. Want to sort of ease off the brake, let that front wheel roll back and try and get the grip back. He'll be a little bit annoyed at that. I wonder where this will put him. 32.4 in the middle sector. Oh no, that's not him. I'm looking at Martin Kenyon. He's on his outlap. 29.5 in the middle sector. I apologise.
Alex Nella there talking about going 4 wide. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. I like that. I like that. And oh, it's 1.8 seconds off for Jakub Szymanski. He will not be too chuffed with that. But like you said, in the hairpin, it's such an important part of the track. To lose that time and not have the run on the exit is that's a massive kick in the testes, it's safe to say. Now, this is Martin Kenyon, who is wearing a Ricardo Rosset helmet to go with his Lola. I love the fact that some of these drivers have gone into that detail. John Tusting wears a Jarno Trulli helmet as well. Oh, we don't have Toby Ward tonight. Apologies to Toby Ward and Morgan Butler in the Arrows, or Rob Lundgren in the Arrows either. So there's another 3 drivers that we don't have. So multiple casualties this evening before we've even got underway, but that means Martin should have more chance of scoring in the points. You get points all the way down to 12th place in this championship, so there's only going to be about 4 drivers that don't get points tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see how hard they battle at the back, knowing that there's extra rewards available, essentially. Or more chance of a reward.
Yeah, I think It's not top 10, is it, that gets points, or is it
12, top 12.
top 12? Yeah, there's a slightly more chance, I think, with the amount that are missing, and it'll only make things closer because you've set it up how that not everyone gets points. It means that it's fairly going to be even closer in that mid to bottom pack of the point scorers. So any point scored by Martin Kenyon, for example, will be over the moon with it, and it'll put him sort of in a fight with probably a similar 3, 4, 5 drivers maybe, who also are scraping for those final few points. So Kenyon's got 2 points, I think, at the moment in the standings. You've got Szymanski there with 1, Hassa with 1. So any singular point they can get, I mean, 2 more points and the Kenyon passes Butler and Crowell. So there's 2 places straight away.
Not the tidiest lap, though, by Martin. He won't be too chuffed with that. Just not using all the circuit in certain places, it seems, there. So he didn't quite get the most out of that one. Here's a man that we all love to see out on track. Adam Hedgecock, absolute star. Really, really lovely bloke. Fantastic with his cinematography as well. He has a website for it as well now, actually, mrhedge.co.uk. He and
cinematography?
Yeah, cinematography, I believe. He and our resident hero, Gilles Gardner, as well, that's been doing all of the pictures for Formula One, both produce absolutely stunning work, it has to be said. We're grateful to have both of them around in the paddock. Gilles has been sort of hanging around in the background, bless him, and he's just been doing the pictures time and time again, and they are amazing. He's even done some posters for the drivers recently, which is great. Whoa, Hedgecock attacks the curbs there. Really, really attacks the curb. Jakub Szymanski saying his second lap was a lot better because these cars need 2 laps to heat up on this circuit. Purple sector in the middle sector by Adam Hedgecock. He could get a good run here. That was tidy through the hairpin, though, wasn't it, Jack? This is looking good. Yeah,
he really attacks that second sector. You called it out when he bounced over that curb. It looked tidy into the hairpin, and then as we saw when we was on board with Werrell, this is the money corner. This is where it could all go wrong. Make or break time. You have that whole straight to think about it. Very cautious. He wants the lap. That actually looked a little bit safe there from Hedgecock, but it's still going to be quick, I think. He wouldn't have scrubbed off too much. Here he goes.
That looked good.
Where's he going to go? Straight to the top. 400ths.
It's close. It's very close, but it's very good indeed. Adam Hedgecock goes fastest by just 43 thousandths of a second. Incredible stuff. Jack Werrell in the chat as well. And Gilles Gardner reckons Christian Rose for pole. He was looking quick in practice. This is the beautiful Minardi of John Tusting. Possibly one of the best looking Formula One cars ever made. And I mean, I've mentioned it a few times already this season, but the livery itself works so well on this car as well. It looks really good. Like a little caricature Formula One car.
Got close to that wall there.
Didn't he? I was thinking that. He's pushing his John, but he's one of those drivers. He is one of those drivers. He's do or die, isn't he, John? He's great to watch. And again, he's just putting this Minardi through its paces. He was actually quite high up in the order for a lot of the time at Catalunya as well, fighting with the race leaders, because he pitted incredibly late in the race, and you know, he stood his ground. It was good to watch.
Look at that. Sorry, I was mesmerised. He really is using all the track. Both obviously green sectors, personal bests. This is his only lap, but no purples as of yet. But it looks tidy. That looks fairly cautious on the exit. I think just sort of hesitating on that throttle, trying not to get any wheel spin. We haven't seen anyone spin or lose the rear end yet, so they're all keeping them under control. And then this chicane, we saw Hedgecock, I think, personally took it a little bit safe compared to how he attacked Sector 2, but
Tusting was 0.7 of a second quicker than Hedgecock in the middle sector. Although, actually, no, Hedge probably is registered as in lap, for God's sake. How many times have we done that? How have we done
that? So many. They should just save the best.
Tom Jacobs in the chat. Hey, up. As 1.1 seconds off for Tusting. He'll have hoped for more from that. Sorry, Jack. I got distracted. No. I see a friend in chat, and I'm like, oh, friend. But we've got Carl Newen in there as well. Werrell, of course, back after sorting his ticker out. As this is Ben Hoffman. Right now, he is the man with quite a point to prove, actually. He was third fastest out of everybody across all of the pre-season testing, hence the fact that he's got the Williams. We've got John Roberts and Sean Gardner in chat as well. Good to see you, boys. But, you know, Ben he needs to prove a point here and show everybody that he can convert that pace. He's got a purple sector now, so he's telling me to shut up quite literally with that, but he's just not had the results, has he, mate?
Well, no, but it does look like he's throwing this car around. I haven't realised it, but until doing it commentating on the Boremula 1, actually, that I make so many noises when people get close to the wall and bounce over these curves. And I'm sure one of the streams got posted on iRacing Instagram or something like that, and my my input on that was a squeal. that was all that happened. But yeah, Hoffman looking tidy. Oh, look at that! Look, there's the slide. That's what we wanted to see. Bit of wheel spin. So he's definitely floored that throttle down. Not the fastest way to get out of that hairpin, but he's got that purple sector 1 to fall back on. So now it falls to that final chicane. They're going to reach immense speeds here in a train.
Oh, they are. They are. They really will. That looked tidy. That looked very... Whoa! A bit of a wobble on the exit. The thing is, if you do get a wobble, you can clip that edge of that tyre barrier with the rear end, and it can really throw the car out. Let's see what Hoffman's time is. It looked good. Looked very good indeed. But wow, quarter of a second off. Despite that purple first sector, Hedgecock holds on to it at the moment. And this
does show once again. Sorry, Chaz.
Sorry.
Does show once again sort of what a good lap time Werrell put in straight away. First
Oh,
car out.
no, Ed.
Oh no.
Edward.
He's going to carry on. You might as well go and do a time.
Yeah. Well, that might have counted as a loss of control, mightn't it?
Oh,
So
true. That is true.
He would have got the incident point for that. Oh, that's absolutely gutting for Ed May. I mean, especially after we were bigging him up before. He was in the top 5 in practice as well. He was well amongst it with all of the Ferraris, McLarens, Benettons, Williams. He was right up there, but that is such a shame for Ed. Just pushing that little bit too hard. But this is the sort of car that really entices you to do that, doesn't it? It wants you to push it hard and try and get the edge of, like, the limit of the grip out of it.
Yeah, and I think in fairness to Ed, if there was any track that I was going to start last at, it would probably be something like this. So he's got plenty of opportunity to get his way back up the order. And of course, as you mentioned, pit stop strategies can be gold dust. They can really work out. If you're struggling to overtake someone, you could probably gain 3-4 positions depending where you are in the race at that phase.
Hedgecock in the chat just saying the pressure of his teammate on provisional pole just got to him. I like that, Hedge. I like that a lot. Well, that could be important, that, because there is a battle going on in the Teams Championship between these guys and the Prosts. And one of the Prosts, Craig Evans, my very good friend, is not here this evening, unfortunately. So it's all down to his teammate, Tim Perry, who is actually next up. So the fact that Ed isn't going to be up there scoring points from what it looks like in qualifying could be a bit of an indication for those guys. But Ed May will be really gutted with that. At least to get some extra practice laps in, I guess. But here comes the beautiful Prost, Ligier, whatever it was, Mugen Honda JS45 of Tim Perry. Of course, you and I know that it's not a Ligier JS45. It's actually a Mazda. But still, it looks like a Prost. It goes like a Prost. And to be fair, actually, this Grand Prix in 1997, the Canadian Grand Prix, was pivotal for the season when it comes to Prost. Unfortunately, it was Olivier Panis having a massive accident through Turn 5 that we've just been through, and broke his leg. I think he broke both his legs, actually, in that accident. It was a horrible, horrible crash. Jarno Trulli stepped... Trulli was. OBS just doesn't like Ben Gregory. But either way, we now have Ben on our screens. But, yeah, apologies about that, everybody. This just happens to me sometimes, it seems. It's an absolute pain in my backside. Typically, it's still dropping frames as well, but we're getting there. We're getting there. It's coming back. It's just we're dropping a lot of the frames along the way. Ben Gregory into the final couple of corners. He's making his way across the line now. And that looked like it was quite good, actually. We had a purple final sector, but still, 1,000th off his teammate. That shows how good a lap that was by Carl Newen, actually, doesn't it, Jack?
Yeah, well, that's as close as you want to be in a teammate fight, but the honours do go to Newen. Newen. I always struggle with that name. Just call him Khan.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for. But yeah, 1,000th between them, that is as close as you'll ever get.
Very, very close indeed. Apologies, everybody. I know that we're still having a frame rate issue, but you're going to have to bear with it. There's nothing I can do now. Jack Styles, though, He has been pretty electric over the last couple of rounds, to be fair, but again, he's just had the odd mistake, the odd incident that's just hampered him a little bit here and there. And it seems like once more, Jack is continually on the pace. But there's just that odd little moment from him, isn't there, where something just doesn't quite work. Something doesn't quite come together for him. I'm not quite sure what it is or why, but there's just sometimes there's that little bit, isn't there, that Jack just misses out on. Just the odd little 10%.
Yeah, I think that's I think it's been the story of Ferrari so far this season, to be honest, with Zwemstra as well. So they're sitting with 59 points currently, so they are third in the standings, a little bit ahead of Williams. But just little errors have been creeping in for both cars, where I think they both seem to have the pace to be competing with the McLaren and the Benetton for sure. Just need to sort of tidy up the mid and end part of the season. This is the purple final sector there. He goes to the top of the times.
Lovely. By just under 0.2 of a second as well. 0.185 for Jack Styles puts him fastest. Next up is Pete Newman in the Benetton. Pete's been having a fantastic championship so far, but again, he's just had the odd incident here and there that's affected his final results, and he's not got it together. We'll go on board with Pete, actually, as he comes out of the first couple of corners. This Benetton's a good-looking car, isn't it? Absolute corker of a car.
Yeah, to be fair, we've mentioned it a few times, but the liveries, there's been a cracking job on the liveries. The Prost has been growing on me all season. I wasn't too sure at first, but that blue has been quite nice, and with the wheels, I think it's leaning towards my favourite now. Look at that, purple first sector straight away for Newman. So he is flying.
Looking
into
good.
Sector 2 now. Let's see how he attacks the chicane. They've been getting very close to the wall on the exit of this section here. So he throws it in. Doesn't mount that first curb. Mounts the second. And actually, there's plenty of room. Plenty of room on the exit. I think it was Styles who went right out to the wall there on that last lap. And then the big braking zone. Any lock-up, any loss of traction on the rear. Looks tidy. Holds it tight to the curb. Gets on the power. Straightens up that car. Green sector. What time is that? 28.8. Don't know what this is going to be. I mean, that first sector looked quick. That's actually quite a lot quicker, but it's annoying that it deletes those sectors. Can't completely compare. Oh, there he goes. That's that's how you attack it. So he mounted that left-hand curb, keeps it to the right to straighten his run to the line, gets every thousandth he can. Where's it going to put him? To the to the top.
Lovely stuff by Pete Newman. Great work, that is. Another 1/10 of a second over what Jack Styles did. Jack's time looked really good as well. And unfortunately, it's not enough at the moment. You do get an extra championship point for pole position. That's why Cam Dance has 101 points, not just 100. So you can get a reward for being the fastest in qualifying. It means that you've got everybody slipstreaming you from the start, but it might be worth it for that one championship point. You just thinking in your mind back to how many championships you've seen separated by 1 point. Kevin Zemstra, though, fast first sector here. He does linger over to the left-hand side a little bit, a bit deep into turn 6. And then he's straight over to the right-hand side on the exit. Hopefully he can keep it clean all the way throughout this one.
I don't want to put the commentator's curse on again, but I'm rooting for Ferrari this time round.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think they deserve a good round. Either driver. And let's see if Werrell can get some points as well. He needs to take advantage of this with the amount of drivers missing from this circuit. He's in P6 currently still with that first lap. We've got this is shaping up to be an interesting race. Ed May is at the back of this, and he has got pace. He just needs to get rid of those mistakes. So that Salva's going to be climbing through. Szymanski messed up his lap. He's going to be climbing through. This is going to be good.
Is indeed out the final corner he goes, and across the line. Let's see what Kevin Zemstra can put on the board. That looked quick indeed.
Ooh,
and it
two
was
purple sectors.
lovely. Lovely work. So the times are tumbling now. Hedgecock, though, still 4th. He'll be happy with that. Carl Newen will be really happy with 5th. Here is possibly the fastest man in the field from what we've seen in pre-season testing and all of the other good stuff. Jake Blackhall, the Australian superstar. Very, very fast. And how many balls to the wall laps have we seen so far this season in qualifying from him, Jack?
Oh, he definitely pushes. Look, you can already see him mounting every curve, getting out to the wall straight away. He's going to hold it tight to this wall. Very nicely done. Opens up this corner. Doesn't use a little bit of extra road. Doesn't think he needs it. Turns in nicely, mounts that curb. Stays away from that one. Little bit. Nice controlled twitch, I'm going to call that, on the exit. Just for the amount of speed he's carrying. I imagine the rear got light. And then this is where, how much road is he going to use on the exit of this? The camera cuts nicely on the exit. I think it looks fairly safe. So you can see how much, a little bit extra road compared to the last lap we saw. Right over the red and white curbs. Still a little bit of room to the wall, but you don't want to get much closer than that, to be honest. Gets it stopped for the hairpin quite nicely. Takes a nice V-shape angle. And away they go. I've been spotting this a few times with the cars that are on their in-lap. It's quite interesting. I wonder, I think the gap is big enough, but they might be getting a little bit of tow from the in-lap cars, which is quite nice for all of them. They're all in a similar situation. They are up the road. We've got 2 purple sectors. This is shaping up to be a super lap. Into the final chicane he goes, mounts both curbs, absolutely sends it through, close to the wall, keeps it straight. I hope it wasn't a 1X, because this is going to be the fastest lap time easily. 3 purple sectors. What's it going to be? Get to the top of the times. What is it? Has he 1X'd it? Oh my
no,
God.
you're joking.
It's not going up there. He's 1X'd.
Oh, mate, no. Oh, I cannot believe it, Jake. Jakey boy, what has gone on there? Oh, man, that is absolutely gutting. Absolutely gutting. I can't believe it. Well.
Oh, that was quick.
It was rapid. It was absolutely rapid. Well, we carry on. And we are straight back to it with Christian Rose. Now, my connection and everything has restored itself, everybody. We are now streaming at full capacity again, but for some reason it is just literally streaming in 30 FPS. So, I'm really sorry, but that's just how it is now. I don't know why. It's really annoyed me. But this is Christian Rose, another guy that's been very fast. He was on pole position at Catalonia in the McLaren. He's not got his teammate Silas here with him tonight. They lead the team's championship, I think. And no, they don't. They're second in the team's championship, 6 points back. I thought it was them leading Benetton. It was at least before that, but still. He is absolute rocket ship, to be fair, is Christian Rose. He's not the last driver out on track either in this session, so we'll have to see whether he can go to the top provisionally ahead of his teammate. And we have now stopped dropping frames, so hooray. It must have heard me talking about it. I hate my internet. Everyone that knows me knows that. Anyway, nice and smooth by Christian. Whoa, that was close. Oh, that was the closest we've seen in it to that wall.
Yeah, he just missed the first apex of that chicane, which meant he mounted the curb more on the left, and that just sent him towards that wall. And just to be fair, even though with that little mistake, P3, 1.5 tenths down. That's not bad at all. Up there in P3, he's starting second row so far.
Yeah, he'll be happy with that, to be fair to him. Really, really good stuff. Next car out then. Championship leader, winner of every race so far. Cam Dance makes his way around the first couple of corners and gets on with the job at hand. Let's check. You can actually change it in SDK to show their best sectors rather than their last sectors. So I'm going to keep my eye on this and see what he does in comparison to some of the other guys. So it's a 25.91. That is pretty much identical to the fastest time that we've had. No, Jake Blackhall did a 25.73. Obviously, that doesn't count for anything right now for Jake. No offense, buddy. Right now, Cam is going to be pushing. Jake has actually sent me. He says, off track, last corner, FML, time with photo incoming. His lap time was a 1:34.7. He was half a second faster than everybody.
I believe it too. It was quick.
Oh
3
my
purple
God.
sectors. It was a crazy time, but just got greedy on those curves. You could tell he attacked it, so fair play.
It was epic, but unfortunately a little bit too epic for its own good.
Yeah, didn't pay off this time.
No, Cam Dance has gone 28.8. He is the fastest person in Sector 2, apart from Jake Blackhall, who did a 28.63. This is looking good for Cam Dance. See what he can do through the final sector. A bit of a wiggle. Uses the runoff. This is the final lap of the session. Is he going to put it on pole position? Is Cam Dance going to get there for his second pole of the season? Yes, he is. 63 thousandths of a second, and the New Zealander gets the job done. No purple sectors on that lap. Obviously, it was comparing it to Jake Blackhall's lap time. But there was confirmation at the bottom that Cam Dance, your championship leader, will start the race on pole. And here come the burnouts, Jack.
I haven't seen this before. This is a new part of the show. Is this the amount of confidence that this man has now? With 4 wins to his name out of 4. It's crazy stuff. He's got the pace. Loving this car.
Oh, he is.
And he hasn't. It's not been a whitewash either. He's had to fight for these wins. I think when you see it on paper, it makes it look like it's been dominant, but he's definitely had to earn them, which is good.
Oh yeah, definitely. He really has had to earn them. He's been working very, very hard for these results and these wins. And well, a pole position to go with it. That's an extra championship point. That's the last thing anybody else wanted to see this evening, is an extra championship point for him. But still, what a mega, mega result that was. We do have a 10-minute warm-up session, so after the fun of qualifying, Jack and I will take a break in just a minute for a few minutes, and then we'll be back with you and we'll get the race underway. But there is your result from qualifying then. Cam Dance takes his second pole of the season. Kevin Zemstra in the Ferrari alongside him on the front row. Pete Newman and Christian Rose will line up on row 2. Jack Stiles and Adam Hedgecock make a very interesting row 3, and then it's an all-Jordan row 4. It's great to see the Jordans finally get their qualifying performances together, to be honest with you. No offence to the boys, but they know that they haven't been qualifying as well as we could have seen them. As we've got a car messing about, have we?
No, I was looking at the times on the right-hand side.
Oh, right.
Earlier it was 1,000th, but now it shows as they've got even times. Both 5.3 tenths back.
Incredible, though. Incredible. And then behind them we have Jack Werrell and Ben Hoffman, who round out the top 10. Again, Ben Hoffman just not quite delivering what we expect. John Tusting 11th, Jakub Szymanski 12th, Martin Kenyon in 13th place is the last car to have set a time. But again, 3 drivers that are all very interesting and very, very quick on their day. Jake Blackhall, Tim Perry and Ed May. I'm excited to see what they can do from there with their respective times. But it is time for Jack and I to just take a quick break here, everybody. But we do have cars out on track for you to look at, so we'll leave you with the guys just circulating for now while they go through warm-up. But if you give Jack and I about 5 minutes, everybody, we'll be right back with you here on Chaz Draycott Media for the Canadian Ball Prix at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. We'll see you in a few. Hello again, everybody. Chaz Draycott and Jack Johns here for the CDM Boremula 1 World Championship. I want to apologise again for these connection issues. It seems like they're kicking in once again here. I went upstairs during the break and actually had a chat with Beth and even Harry, my wonderful 7-year-old Harry, to say, what are you doing on the internet and why do you have to do it when I'm broadcasting? But no, I'm joking. But we don't know what the problem is. It's still only streaming at about half the bit rate now, so I'm afraid you're going to have to deal with it, and so am I, but it's part of the job sometimes, isn't it, Jack? It's a pain in the backside.
Yeah.
It's all right where you are. What have you got?
What, for dinner?
Yeah.
Sausage.
Oh,
Mash.
everyone loves a sausage. Flipping brilliant. Oh.
Caught me off guard. Anyway. Yeah. Internet troubles. It happens.
Yeah.
We're on the other side of the ocean. It's fine. Canada. Dodgy connection.
Yeah. Well, it happens, but it just happens about 3 out of 4 times it's me that it happens. Pain in my backside, honestly. But, you know, there could be multiple things for it. We don't get a great bit rate here, to be honest with you. You know, sometimes the fact that I have the YouTube stream on my left screen. Hello, Hedgie boy.
Oh.
Sometimes the fact that I have the stream on my left screen can be enough to take like the odd couple of frames away or chip away at a bit of bit rate. There is actually a theme that in our household, if one of us is uploading anything to the internet, if it's a big file, so if it's Beth doing anything for work or me deciding to upload terrible videos of Gran Turismo 2, then it completely kicks anyone else off the internet. It completely kills it. Even though we only get like 8 meg up and about 30 down, if I'm uploading a big file, you can't download anything. You know, it's like the internet is completely gone. It's absolutely ridiculous, but there's nothing can be done according to all my life. Hello, Tim.
Yeah. I think that other crash scared the Stuart. I heard the team radios were like, oh, that was close.
I imagine there was curse words.
No, there wasn't actually. It was quite clean. Just little smiles, all happy. Tim, although ending up in the wall quite hard there, had some beautiful shots of him flying through that final chicane.
Yes, yeah, he was really pushing the limits through there, wasn't he? He was trying very, very hard indeed. It's great to see these drivers pushing the limits, though, and that's, at the end of the day, that's why we're here a lot of the time, isn't it? To just see who can push the hardest and get away with it in this little car. Right then, it's grid time. Jack can finish his sausage before the race gets underway, and we can.
I'm going to save it. Don't know.
And we can keep our eyes on the grid. Cam Dance and Kevin Zemstra on the front row. Pete Newman and Christian Rose on row 2. Then it's Jack Stiles and Adam Hedgecock. Carl Newen and Ben Gregory on row 4. Jack Werrell is 9th with Ben Hoffman alongside him. Behind them is John Tusting and Jakub Szymanski. Then we have Martin Kenyon and the 3 cars that did not set a time. Jake Blackall, not his brother Jack, Tim Perry and Edward May at the back of the field. Certainly going to have a lot to keep our eyes on during this one. I'll ask you once again, Jack, as I always do at this point, mate, who's your money on?
Oh, it's the dreaded question because I always get blamed, but I'm going to pick Zemstra today.
Okay, the first non-Cam Dance win of the season, and you think it'll come the way of a Ferrari. I hope Tom Jacobs is still in the chat because he'll love that.
It's just, I just think they're owed a good race, and here go the lights, Chaz. Take it away for the start of this race.
Round 5 of the CDM Boremula 1 World Championship from Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is underway, and Zemstra gets an absolute lightning bolt of a launch off the line. Looks like he gets the better of Cam Dance. Jake Blackall gets another really, really good run off the back of the grid. There's nearly a bit of contact. I think there was a bit of contact between Zemstra and Dance. Zemstra goes through. Hedgecock's around in the middle. Looks like everybody else makes it through. Jake Blackall has already gained 5 places. Sorry, yeah, there you go, 5 places now. Ed May has gained 5. It's very nip and tuck, though, in the middle there between all those boys. Jakub Szymanski keeps it tidy, but Kevin Zemstra for Ferrari leads this race. Then it's the 2 Benettons behind, and Christian Rose is just behind Jack Stiles in the other Ferrari. Here is Blackall already, though, mate. He's already into the top 10. He's flying straight off the start. But Adam Hedgecock will be kicking himself. Not quite sure what happened there.
Just goes into turn 1, I think. Oh, there we go. It was a
Werrell.
big hit from behind from Werrell. I think I saw slow on the exit of that section. So I don't know if he was waiting for him as an apology or something, or maybe a slowdown. I don't know. But Zwemstra, what a start! Perfect getaway, and 3 wide into the hairpin. Why not?
That was Ed May.
Yeah. Great start, and he positioned his car well for the Ferrari, but he is going to have that man all over the back of him now for a very long time.
Yes, indeed. Here comes Cam Dance at Zemstra. I agreed with you, but I still knew he was going past. Dance goes down the inside into the chicane, gets a nice run on the exit. Now Zemstra's going to get mugged by Newman, is he not? His teammate Jack Stiles is in this as well, but he doesn't want these guys to fight. Well, he does want these guys to fight, but Zemstra doesn't want them to fight with him because he's thinking, right, that pesky Benetton in front is leading the championship and the race. Very, very close it is between these guys here, making sure they don't turn in on one another, but the Ferraris are suddenly 3rd and 4th, and Ben Gregory is just off the back of this in the Jordan. And it's good to see the Jordan so high up the order, actually, because, oh no, Pete Newman's around. Oh, and he's caught Zemstra, and he's caught Stiles, and he's caught Werrell. Oh, Jack Werrell's over. Oh, man, it's absolute mayhem. There's cars around all over the place. Suddenly, Ferrari's race goes absolutely to pot.
And that right there is why I don't pick my favourites to win.
Oh, for God's sake. He picked Zemstra.
I picked both Ferraris, and now they're, look at them, out. Down the order. I'm not taking responsibility. I don't know what happened to Newman. I don't know if it was contact or what. That Jordan was looking worse for wear.
Oh, this is just before it happened.
After.
Khan Newen had a moment just before that. Oh, he's gone in at the hairpin. The chicane, sorry. This is what happened here. He's with John Tusting. Oh, car off in front. Oh, Tim Perry in on that one. Big old hit there. And then we will find out what happened to Pete Newman. Did he do it on his own, or did he get a hit from Zemstra? Oh, he got a hit. Zemstra hit him. And then he rolled back into Zemstra. Werrell went down the inside of Gregory, and then, yeah, big old mess. Now, I'd be intrigued to see whether Ed May is still running, actually, because he had big damage on his car. No, Ed is actually, well, just about making his way into the pits. Oh, my God, how did you save that? How on God's earth did he save that? How on earth did he save that? Well, everyone's going to get it in 30 FPS because my internet is doing my head in. Oh, my God. Oh, that is sketchy. So, well, it's all right if you can dance. 4.8 seconds over Christian Rose. That's really thrown the cat amongst the pigeons. Really thrown the cat amongst the pigeons. But would you look at this? Jake Blackhall, 3rd. He's gained 11 places. John Tusting's 4th in the Minardi as well.
He'll be happy with that, Will John. Hedgecock's back up to 7th as a result of that crash, so his mistake not looking so bad now. Szymanski's up there after a poor qualifying as well. So many, 5 drivers into the pits.
Yeah,
Stiles, Gregory, Wemster, Newman, Werrell. Newman is showing us out on track.
Yeah, he is. He's still circulating, so he would have had...
He must have picked. He's a lap down.
Yeah.
He's not a lap down on pace, that's for sure. Oh, he's going in again?
Oh, well, all right then. Maybe he sped in the pits the first time.
Maybe.
Well, that has certainly thrown this wide open. Normally we have a good 38 cars battling for the lead, but this time no. But right now, though, actually, we do still have Jake Blackhall fighting, chasing down Christian Rose here. We know how fast Jake is around here. It's just when it comes to an incident point, clearly that affects him. Now, there are a number of cars in the pits, of course, that are still being towed back from what I know, but they are a bunch of the championship protagonists. Cammy in the chat as well, good to see you, mate. Saying, yeah, the better damage model, which is this, because the F3 cars fall apart when you breathe on them. Yeah, I like what you mean. I mean, I know what you mean. I like the current Formula 3 damage model. It looks really good, but yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure which I prefer. There's a lot of pros and cons. Tom there saying, Tusting, do not do a Marc Genet. And Marc Genet did a lot of questionable things, so I'm not quite sure which one he's on about. Whoa! Jakub Szymanski showing us exactly who he's sponsored by on the side of the car.
Yeah.
Nice little twizzle. And now it's his turn to scare people on the exit of that chicane.
Here comes Kenyon. Look, is he going to get P7?
Go on,
He's
lad.
on the inside for the hairpin, I think. He's got the run, yeah. Oh, broke pretty early there. He's going to get it. He's got the exit.
No, has he? No,
oh,
he's not.
No, he hasn't.
Oh.
What's going on? The Lola engine not grunting the way it should.
It's made of jigsaw pieces.
Yeah.
But look at the slipstream, though. It's even from like a tiny angle there. It's insane slipstream in these cars.
Maybe we got that wrong. Maybe Kenyon was waiting for the slipstream. No, maybe not.
Oh, well, yeah, never mind.
It's just the brakes. Just the brakes on that thing. So who's he got behind him?
Oh, sorry. That was Edward May. No, it wasn't.
It is Ed. No, it's not Ed May.
It's
one of the laps. Jordan's, I
think. Oh, flipping heck.
Oh. Blackwell. How did he pass Rose? Let's have a look at this.
Reggie mind me.
Down the back straight.
Oh, he used his invisibility cloak.
Yeah. And that's how you do it.
Yeah,
that needs to be investigated. That Williams. Both of them.
Jesus
right out to the tire wall. That was crazy.
Ready? Ready for the scenic camera? There it is. Oh. Look at that. Netcode gives you an extra 15 mile an hour. Watch this, though. Oh my God. I leant back in my chair. That was so close. Like, that. I don't know how they can get away with that. That is unbelievable. And unfortunately, Tom, I do not remember the Minardi blowing up on Genet, but I know that Minardi's blew up a lot, so to remember a Minardi blowing up is it's like remembering that you've woken up. Either way, Jake Blackhall second. He's clearly said to Christian Rose, who he is teammates with at Pure Sims, he's saying, right, Shifty, you stay there, mate, and you just follow me, because I have the pace here. Although, to be fair, looking at the lap times, Jake Blackhall did a 1:35.1, Cam Dance did a 1:34.9. Cam Dance, the only driver in the 34s, and these two are the only ones in the 35s. So the pace by Cam Dance right now is absolutely that of a championship leader. And he is starting to walk away with this championship, it has to be said, but he's not been walking away with it in the races in terms of track position, though, has he? Because he's not really been leading the races till the very end every time. No,
like I said earlier, he really fought for those first few wins. I think this is probably going to be the easiest one. He's not going to complain about it. It's a free championship extension here, unless, of course, well, it's not over. We're on lap 6 to 23. Unless a big mistake comes his way, maybe a pit lane speeding penalty, maybe just a slight curb too much somewhere could put him in the wall. So it's not over until he crosses that finish line. But he's definitely going to be enjoying the fact that Silas isn't here, hunting him down for that win.
Yeah, definitely. That will give him a little bit more comfort, it has to be said. This is Jakub Szymanski. The car, well, the front of the car not looking like it's got too much comfort of his own right now. He's trying to chase down Adam Hedgecock. There's about 0.7 of a second between the two. Hedge started quite near the front of the field. He had quite a good qualifying. As Jakub goes very late on the brakes. Look at that. He really closed in on Hedge there, you know.
He's got a very droopy wang on the front of that car.
He has, hasn't he? That's certainly not one to impress the ladies, that is it. The Stuart Ford not looking its most masculine, but maybe it's helping him turn left. You never know. It's lower to the ground, isn't it? But look at the slipstream. Yeah. Look at that.
He's going to send it. He's good on the brakes. He spotted that in the hairpin, I imagine. Is he going to commit to it? He doesn't. He actually backs out of that. So he did go later on the brakes.
Hedge gave him loads of room.
Yeah, look. Thinks, okay, I'll get you on the exit instead. Set that up beautifully. Read him like a book.
Yeah, Hedge gave him plenty of room there, to be fair to him. I mean, look how wide Hedge goes in the first part. Misses the apex.
He scared him.
Yeah,
scared him wide.
Compromises his run. And then that's it. And Jack Stiles says his fast repair got unticked. Oh, man. That's absolutely gutting. That is why Jack still sits in the pits. We actually have the rest of the cars out on track, though, which is good. As Pete Newman hanging the back end out on that Benetton. He is about 13 seconds ahead of Kevin Zemstra. But don't forget, after a change earlier on in the season, after the first couple of rounds, if drivers do have an incident early on, they can basically have their pit stop, get a fast repair, fuel the car up, and it will go to the end. So some of those guys will maybe get a bit of time back on what they lost earlier on because they've had a pit stop as well as the incident. we have actually seen, haven't we, Jack, that if people are quick enough to get back into the pits from the incident they've had, they've actually been able to salvage quite a good result.
Yeah, that's right. As long as that in-lap and the pit stop goes smoothly, by the time the pit stop phase comes around, they come back out into the fight because they're on the pace. So it could happen. I think a few of them got a little bit screwed in how their cars ended up in that crash. I mean, Werrell was upside down for a very good period. To quote Nico Hulkenberg, hanging there like a cow when he got towed. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. The pit stop phase for sure, because you've got everyone in 10th and above, I believe, have not had to stop. So Perry is the first.
Ed May pitted actually because of that damage earlier, didn't he? So he is he's not going to be.
The first. Oh, Kenyon. Oh, don't forget the Lola. Kenyon,
you can't forget the little Lola. But yeah, Kenyon is the first target for any of them, as you say. Werrell's been in twice as well, actually. I think he has had a stop-go or something, or picked up a fast repair, because he was only stationary for 2.3 seconds. Whether that was just a bit extra fuel or what, we'll have to see, but he pushes on. Don't forget, you do get points for 12th and above in the championship, so some of these guys, with the smaller field that we have here tonight, it's in their best interest to carry on anyway and just see if they can salvage points out of it. It's a real shame about the incident, but Zemstra just following very closely, just seemed to get caught out by Newman braking and taking it easy into the chicane. And then after that, Pete was on the brakes, tried to stop the car rolling back, but as you and I both know, mate, when you're trying to stop the car rolling backwards on the brakes, it's a real nightmare.
Yeah, it's just it's such a small touch that caused that incident. I think it wasn't malicious. It was a complete sort of nothing contact, and it just unsettled the rear end of one car. And obviously, with the whole field coming in flying behind, it was just always going to happen. Jakub Szymanski in, as is Adam Hedgecock.
Yeah, that's interesting actually to see. That seems like quite an early stop, but to be fair, what we have in the rules is that they can pit any time after the end, well, as long as it's lap 8 and onwards in the race, they can pit from that point on. This is Zemstra unlapping himself on Ed May using the slipstream, and he's pushing on in that Ferrari. My God. Now Tim Perry is actually chasing Ed May for position here, so that has not helped Ed at all. Got Dave in the chat, Dr. Dinner Table. Good to see you, Hoss. Good to see you. Tom Jacobs there reciting good old Murray with the wonderful shouting as he used to get an F197. Then again, nothing in human history has ever been as loud as the guy that came over the radio on that game as soon as he did as much as hit a curb a little bit hard. When he used to scream at you shouting, "Are you okay?" or "We're ready for you if you want to get that damage fixed." That used to blow my ears off. It actually bent my TV screen once, I think it's that loud.
The TV screens back then used to be massive, so that was loud.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The glass was about 5 inches thick and all. Oh well. We've actually got a nice little group together on track here, but they're not all for position actually. This is for position though. This is close. Werrell against Gregory. Werrell, whoa, flipping heck. That looked like an aggressive throw, didn't it? Flipping heck.
I thought he was going to absolutely launch that down the inside then. He thought about it. I think that was just an intimidation move. He knows what he's doing, does Werrell. That will, well, he's making himself known, shall we say, in the mirrors of that Jordan.
Oh,
difference in the line. There's a spinner up ahead. That's a loss of position for someone.
Ed May.
That's Ed May.
Ed May had a spin.
Wonder if there was contact there with Tim or Jakub, who have both passed him.
Well, yeah, it just actually said that Tim passed him just before he had the spin, so we'll have a look back. Look at that, 142 mile an hour in a straight line. These cars top out about 136, don't they, normally?
Yeah, well, I think we saw 137, I think, in quali, so an extra 5 mile an hour slipstream there, which is good going. That's definitely worth a lot, especially if you're planning to gain in the pit stop phase. Oh, he's just spun by himself. He's dropped it. Has Ed May. Oh, dear.
That's gutting.
No contact.
No, gutting stuff for Ed May. And it's so easy to do that in this car, isn't it? I mean, when you're in low gears, we were saying in pre-season testing, and a number of the drivers were saying that a lot of the time it's worth just staying in third rather than going down to second, because every single chance you have to go into second is a chance to spin the car, basically. Lead gap's gone up. Nearly 5.8 seconds now from Cam Dance to Jake Blackwell. You can hear the car sliding. He's got it sideways through most of the corners, but he's just got enough of that sort of little four-wheel drift that this car does. He's just got enough of that to carry the speed through. It's epic driving, but, I mean, as I've said, it's testimony to the fact that he's leading the championship, isn't it?
Yeah, these two are swapping quite close lap times, to be fair. Oh, here's a little gaggle into the hairpin, still fighting away. Jack Werrell.
I think he's just scared Ben out of the way here.
I think I heard a radio message there. Just trying to listen in.
Oh!
I think, so, I think on one person's point of view, contact happened, and the other one did not.
Oh, and Jack's let him through. Interesting. That seemed like Jack let him back through there.
It did look like it.
Yeah. Not sure why.
They're still discussing it, to be fair. It's all calm. They're
Oh,
not
just
angry.
tell them shut up and race.
Yeah, that's it. They're just having a conversation.
Just shut up. That's what I'd be like. Oh well. Well, it's nice, you know. I must say, one of the best things about this championship has been the fact that we've got a bunch of guys that all get on. You know, there have been the odd little heated moments here and there, but it's racing, isn't it? You're going to get that. But 90% of the time, these guys all have a good laugh. They're all here for the same reasons. Quite like it.
Yeah, that's right. Sim racing community is obviously has its highs and lows, as does everything. But it's they've all got a common interest. They're all taking part in it. They all want a good close race. Cam Dance is in it for the wins, but I'm sure most of them are in it for some nice wheel-to-wheel fights that don't end up in the wall.
I'll tell Kevin that.
Yeah,
I'm joking,
so
Kevin.
I don't want to mention it.
We love you. We love you, Kevin. We love him. He is a very entertaining driver. Martin Kenyon into the pits in that gorgeous Lola livery by James Leggett, JL Race Aesthetics. The car crawls its way down the pits. It even looks like Jack Stiles in the background there. It looks like he's crashed the car into the pit wall just to get it stopped, doesn't it? Doesn't look. Oh, cameraman falls over. Still got this going on. Shows you how strong the slipstream is. Sorry, but Werrell before, when they were chasing, I think they were chasing Ed May. When they were behind him before, you could see that Werrell couldn't get past Gregory in the slipstream because Gregory had slipstream of his own in front. It's incredible.
It is. It's crazy strong here. I was saying earlier, just before we got distracted by all the fights and the spins, the top two are actually swapping times ridiculously closely. That gap is fluctuating. It does keep dropping down slightly by about a tenth a lap. And then it extends a little bit. I mean, the last lap times was a 35.0 for Blackwell, 35.1 for Dance. Their best times, the fastest lap is actually Blackwell with a 34.7.
Wow.
Which is 2 tenths quicker than Dance's best, who might be driving conservative because he'd done all the hard work at the start. But Jake Blackwell, let's not forget, up 12 places, and he is chasing the leader.
Yeah, he started 14th on this grid of 16 cars. And once again, it's been an amazing drive through the pack by Jake Blackwell, the man that topped all of the times pretty much in pre-season testing. He was second at the first test at Alton Park, actually, with Pete Newman faster than him. And then after that, he was quickest in both the sessions to round out the whole test. That is why he is in this Williams. Teammates with Ben Hoffman, who finished third in that. Kevin Zemstra was second fastest in pre-season testing as well. Cam Dance was, I think, the 4th or 5th fastest car out of all of them. So he's certainly shown that when you just get it together on race day, it can be an absolute dream. Well, this is great fun to watch, as ever, in this championship.
Look at those last times as well. It was a 34.8 for Blackwell, 34.9 for Rose, who's right behind him, 35.0 for Dance. So it is coming down. More people are starting to pit now as well. I think there's only 4 drivers who haven't pit, which is your leader, Cam Dance. Is it 4? Yeah, it is 4. Dance, Blackwell, Rose, and Hoffman.
So just those 4 we still wait for. And we get our eyes now on Ben Gregory, who is just chasing down Werrell. It makes a very, very impressive save, it must be said, through turn 6. Gregory gets very close to the back of him as they come out of there. That was very, very close indeed.
He's going to hold him tight. Look, he's holding him tight to the chicane. He didn't want him to open it up. But then he thinks better of it. There's another twitch from Werrell there on the entry. And what a move by Gregory. Wow. A little twitch from Werrell. Saw it happen in the chicane before. Tried forcing it to happen again. Did. And now Werrell's going to look around the outside of the hairpin. This almost looks choreographed. He's going to try and get the switch back on the exit. Better exit. No.
It's like a lightsaber fight.
Yeah.
I know it's actually happy Star Wars Day, everybody.
It is. May the 4th.
Yes. May the 4th be with you, said Mike Tyson once. But we've got Jack Werrell, actually the last car running at the moment as well, and that's the thing. These guys having an amazing scrap for the last 2 positions on the road. Look at that, Ben puts the car in the middle of the road, exactly where he needs to put it. And again, they just push so hard through there. Look at Jack fighting with the wheel. That's what I love to see, when the drivers are really dancing with the wheel. It's great fun, great fun.
Be doing it on, but they will be enjoying it for sure until it goes wrong. But that's to say, if it does, we're on lap 14 now.
I was going to say when, not if.
Yeah. 5.2 seconds that gap now. I don't know what the best strategy is here for Blackhall and Rose. Like, they're together, they're both setting faster laps than Dad's. Do they stay out longer? Do they go long, or do they come in early? I'm just not sure.
It's hard to know a lot of the time, because there's always pros and cons to both. You know, you never want to be the first car to blink. But Jakub Szymanski. Szymanski's off and in the wall. He's buried the car. He leaves it where it was just to make it a bit predictable. But Jakub Szymanski is out of this race. And this is what we were saying before. That's how easy it is to do. It hits the curb. Car goes one way. Oh no. Clouts it side on. Great awareness by the guys behind as well to avoid that. But that is a real shame. And Jakub Szymanski has dropped the ball. Carl Newman and Pete Newman. Yeah, Newman and Newman. The side by side, and Pete Newman goes through into the top 10 actually now, which is a good recovery. It must be said for Pete. I know that I say it must be said a lot recently. That's one of my current phrases that I overuse, but that is a really good recovery no matter how you look at it, because that was a hell of an incident and he was in the pits for a long old time. 3.25 minutes.
That's right. It's not done. He's got Kenyon up the road as his next target. I can't quite see it. Well, it's about a minute, isn't it? I don't know if he'll close that in the next phase. But Jake Blackhall has just set the fastest lap on his last round of 34.76, 100th quicker than his previous fastest lap. So he is pushing that car. How long are those tyres going to last? He must be using them. You can see him. Look, you can see Dance in the distance. Just going into turn 1, that's going to be frustrating. Just watching him.
Well, I think that's going to be even better for Jake, because he can see the target he's chasing. It's not just a lap time or a number that he's trying to crunch down here. He can physically see the car that he's just trying to catch up to, and he's using every little inch of the road here. Look at this through there, just dancing, pardon the pun, with Cam in front of him, but this is great stuff. And I love riding on board with Jake because he is always so feisty. You can see the body language of his car going fast. You get a number of drivers in cars like this that are so smooth that they just make it work, but it doesn't look as exciting, it doesn't look as fast. Jake makes it look fast, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. He throws the car around, but he somehow, yeah, like you said, he just makes it look fast. Sometimes fast doesn't, it just looks casual. But he makes it look exciting at times. Oh, 4.6 seconds, sorry. 4.6 seconds the gap now. He's actually dropped Rose a little bit. He was right behind him, Temps behind him, but now a second, so he's really flying now. He's found a rhythm. I reckon two more seconds, he might be starting to get a little bit of slipstream, but he's running out of laps to do so. 16 out of 23.
Now this is a three-way fight here, actually. Tim Perry chasing down Adam Hedgecock, chasing down Adam Tusting. These three have sort of magnetised towards one another in the last stages of the race. Cam Dance, Jake Blackhall and Christian Rose all coming into the pits now. So the lead trio has made their way in. Ben Hoffman has been very much in a bit of no man's land as well, actually. We have to give a shout out to Ben. Having a great run, 10th on the grid, up into 4th. But then again, we do need to keep our eyes on this. We've got so many things going on, despite having a smaller field. This little trio is going to have a big old shuffle around onto the back straight, I reckon. Let's see how long the guys are stationary for. First car out of the pits is Jake Blackhall. Cam Dance Gets out in front of him. And there is the difference, look. As Hoffman has actually gone through here. Now this could prove vital. Hoffman trying to put pressure on Cam Dance. He's not quite in front of him yet, but he's up to speed and Cam isn't. Oh, this could prove vital if he tries to have a go here and holds Cam up for his teammate. What do you reckon, Jack?
I think he needed to be in front there. It just wasn't quite far enough ahead, because now Dance gets those tyres working relatively straight away, but he's got a lot of slipstream to try and get it done. All he needs to do is throw him off a little bit, but the gap increased during that pit stop phase. So I don't know if there's a bit of fuel saving going on for Cam or what, but it's gone up to 5.9 now, so there's a lot of work to be done by Hoffman if he wants to try and throw him off his game.
This was the move that we missed in the meantime as well. This is Hedgecock overtaking John Tusting in the Minardi. Tusting stays in a straight line, makes the car nice and predictable. Hedgecock goes through, and I think Tim Perry's going to go through past Tusting as well, so he gets mugged in a straight line there, unfortunately. But both continue on, or all three continue on, it must be said. There you go, I've said it again. But still, Cam Dance leads this race by only half a second from Ben Hoffman, but how long will Ben stay out? Because I think, whoa! It always scares me, that. It always scares me. Always. How many incidents have you seen there? Like, I've seen a lot where people just carry on and plow into the car in front. I thought Ben was going to do it then.
I make a game of it sometimes. I send it down the inside.
Oh my Christ.
That was close. I think he had to brake earlier than he would have wanted maybe there.
Well, you've got to consider as well, that is close for someone in Germany that is racing somebody in New Zealand with about a 300 ping. You know, that is cutting it fine, that, by Ben. I'm not saying it was irresponsible, but, you know, that was cutting it fine, definitely. Now, John Tusting hasn't lost these guys in front of him. He's still doing well, up in 7th position. Just trying to think what his best result is so far this season. I think he's just had a couple of top 10s. He's only got a handful of points to his name, as far as I know. Tusting is 12th in the championship with 8 points. So, yeah, I think he's had a couple of sort of 9th and 10th finishes. This will definitely be his best. Tim Perry will be happy to get some points with Prost as well. Hedgecock will be chuffed. He's 13th in the championship at the moment, actually, on 8 points. And for finishing where he's on course to finish now, he will actually gain more than that in the long run, to be honest with you. I will get the points spreadsheet up so I can tell you that, because I want to be confident in my answer. Yeah, if Hedge finishes in 5th place, he'll get 10 points. So that'll definitely do with the 8 that he's got at the moment. That would technically put him about 8th in the championship as well. So definitely on the way to do well. Same with Ben Hoffman, you know. Ben currently is not having a very exciting season when it comes to points. He's only just ahead of Hedgecock. He's on 9 points. And if he finishes in 4th, he'll get 12 of them. So this smaller field is actually proving fruitful for those that have turned up, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah, absolutely. We said it from the start. It was always going to be a gainer for some people, depending on how the race went. Obviously, the crash at the start has helped out a few people. I was just looking up. That is a massive amount of time that Dance gained in that pit stop. 1.5 seconds nearly. Which is absolutely crazy. Look at that down the... bounces over the curb. It's going to get a slow exit, though, because that is going to unsettle the car. And look at this. That's Hedgecock coming back. Oh, he's going to defend to the inside, which gives Hedgecock the outside, which is actually a stronger line because it then gives the inside for turn 2 if he can hold it round. He's going to try it. There it is. He's on the inside of turn 2. There's going to be a bit of contact. They got very close there with the Prost getting run out wide, and that is going to open it up for somebody else to come through. That's John Tusting in the Minardi, who's going to have the inside. No, he's going to back out and wait for the next opportunity. He's not going to want to risk that there.
Fantastic stuff by the pair of them there. In the meantime, actually Ben Hoffman had a problem of his own. Ben went off at turn 1. You could just see him rejoining in the background of that shot there. I think he's just gone in a little bit too hot there. Yeah, look at that. Just as he flicks the car in, loses it onto the grass, but he's got plenty of daylight around him to get that recovered. Tusting, like I said, hasn't really dropped off the back of these pair, has he, right now? He's doing a great job staying on a similar pace to them, considering how quickly they caught him up. Just shows you as well, though, no disrespect to John, but that slipstream does a great job at keeping cars together like this. It keeps the racing entertaining for us.
Yeah, absolutely. The trains are what make this, and it's prime example. It nearly happened just then. We've seen it time and time again when you're in a train, whether it's 3 cars, 4 or more, you've got to be so careful with your racecraft and what you're planning. Because if you go for a move, for example, if the Prost goes for a move now on the inside, you're side by side into a chicane where you should be going fast. You both are in your run, both of you, and then Tustin is in the prime position to get the best exit and pass them both. You've really got to be careful. And at the same time, it's just advantages. It's give and take, and it's absolutely crazy. Especially the more cars that are in the train, it really can get confusing. You really got to think about what you're doing. But these 3 providing all the entertainment tonight for 5th, 6th, and 7th.
And the man in 8th is Ed May, who is just coming into the pits. He's got damage on the front of that car. Now, that looks like it might be crabbing slightly to me. Wonder if he's had a hit there. Yeah, that is broken. Now, I've not seen anything about Ed going off the road or anything, so unfortunately, Ed has made a mess of it somewhere and damaged the car. We've had a little connection issue creeping again, everybody, so apologies. But
he would have used his fast repair, so he might be there for a while.
He will, yeah. You're very right. You're very right. He will not be getting away from that in a hurry. And he might even lose a place to Pete Newman here. He's about 1 minute and 5 seconds ahead of him. So Pete will appreciate that, I'm sure. The fact that he gets a freebie out of it. But John Tusting has suddenly become the guy attacking Tim Perry here rather than sort of watching Tim attack Adam, hasn't he?
He has. He's right there, and this is the best place for it. Needs to get the best exit out of that hairpin. Ignore those big DRS boards. We don't have that in 1997. He's blinking a little bit. That's going to scare him up ahead for sure. And Newman does get Ed May, who's still in the pits. So does Nguyen. Zwemstra might come through. It's going to be a free position for a lot of people, I think, if he doesn't come out soon. There goes Zwemstra.
Ed's actually
just couldn't do it.
Ed's actually said in the chat that's all she wrote. He's out of the race, I'm afraid.
There you go.
That's a real shame, Ed. Sorry to see it, buddy. Really are sorry to see it. We know that this circuit was going to be a bit of a bogey track for a lot of people, and it was looking like such a promising race for Ed as well after being so fast in practice. But he said the force was not strong with this one, and no, definitely not, mate. It's been a tough Star Wars day, it seems. But fingers crossed, we see a good performance in the next one.
It's little things like that as well. It's a bit, obviously, it's a shame for Ed that it's had to end that way. But a shout out to Ben Gregory, who could have parked up early on in the race when all looked out the window, who's now in a points position.
Yeah, he is.
So it's worth it. He was fighting Jack Werrell for that earlier. He seems to have dropped off a little bit. I think he's about 5 seconds back as Werrell. So it's looking good for a point for the Jordan.
I think now. Bear with me so I get a second to just check this here. But this might be the first double Jordan points finish of the season. Yes, it would be. If they both finish there, this would be the first race of the season where both Jordans scored points. In the first round of the season, it was nearly the case. Ben Gregory finished really, really well, actually. Finished 4th in that race. Got 12 of the 17 points that he has now. That just shows how it's not been going too well since then for Ben. But Khan Newen was 1 place off scoring points in that race, and they haven't managed to score with both cars in the points since then. We're on to lap 22 though, and it's very, very close between Adam Hedgecock and Tim Perry still for 5th and 6th. Great race for the pair of them, strong points, especially considering that Tim started this race in 15th actually. He was the 3rd of the 3 drivers that didn't get a time in, remember.
Yeah, you're right. He messed up his lap. Here he is in P6, chasing down P5. He's going to want it. There's 2 laps to go. They're going to be pushing hard. And I think, well, do you know what? I was about to say I feel for Jake Blackhall. Not because of the pit stop. Not because of his faster race pace than Cam Dance. But knowing a race driver's mind, I'm not sure he's going to be too... Maybe he'll be a little bit happy with a 2nd place. But with the pace that he has shown throughout this race... His race pace has been immense. His quali lap was looking strong until he messed it up. It's you've got to say it's a potential win out of his hands. Could have ruined that streak. I mean, don't get me wrong. Well, from where he started up to 2nd place, great race. But I think in his own head, he might be a little bit disappointed that he didn't start next to Dance and be able to fight him for the whole race.
Well, yeah, especially with the pace that we saw in terms of his qualifying pace. He was absolutely on fire. His best result this season is actually a 3rd place. He's had 2 5ths, a 3rd and a 6th, has Jake. So this is going to be his best result. Cam Dance, as mentioned, has won every race so far this season, and it looks like he's about to make that 5 out of 5. Craig Evans in the chat asking what the best result is for a Prost if it is 6th position. Now their 2 numbers are cars 83 and I believe 27, so I'm having to check this very, very quickly before he finishes the race. I think the best result actually for one of them is 7th, which was Craig in the first round of the championship. So yeah, it will be a best result if Tim Perry manages to finish there, but only a couple of corners left here, Jack. What can be said about Cam Dance?
It's been a dominant showing, like we said. He'll be happy that it's been quite casual. The gap's coming down at the end. I don't know if he's running a bit tight on fuel. It's gone down to below 4 seconds for the first time all race since the start. So he throws it into the final chicane. He's going to come to the inside to the pit wall. He's going to weave across the line. And Cam Dance is your 5-time out of 5 race winner here at Canada. And look at that, Blackhall in sight with Rose right behind him, a well-fought P3. And look, what a strong podium that is.
Yeah, indeed. Christian Rose really understated in that one there, and to be fair,
there's set the fastest lap.
He did actually. He did. Now we've got about 27 seconds back to Ben Hoffman, but Ben is just chasing down Khan Newen there. That shows how wide open this race is. There's a lap between 4th and 10th. And there we go. Ben Hoffman is going to finish 4th, but what about the battle for 5th? Because it's Adam Hedgecock and Tim Perry. Tim's going to get the best result for Prost. I think Adam's going to get the best result for Sauber, but which one's it going to be in 5th? Which one's it going to be in 6th? God. Tim's going to get it to the line. He's not going to get it. Adam Hedgecock just takes it. Just takes it. Fantastic, fantastic stuff. Very entertaining right to the end. 300ths between them. John Tusting 7th. Great performance by him. Martin Kenyon is going to circulate to come home in 8th place. Pete Newman has already crossed the line in 9th. That's a strong recovery for him. Khan New in 10th. Kevin Zemstra 11th. Ben Gregory is going to be the last point scorer in 12th. And the last car we're waiting actually for to cross the line is going to be Martin Kenyon. The Lola around the final corner. I think that might be a best result for Lola as well this season, to be honest with you. He's had an 11th place finish, and that was the best. So, yeah, best finish for Lola this season for Martin Kenyon. Very well done indeed, sir. Great, great stuff. But there is your race winner, everybody. Cam Dance. We'll go back to the moment he crossed the line, and, well, we'll see the donuts and we'll see the drifting. Honestly, we really need something major to stop this boy, don't we, Jack? What a guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting to the stage now where I think he's going to want to keep that streak going for the whole season. It'd be crazy if he could do that, but I'm sure the rest of the field are looking forward to the day that someone does beat him. I'm sure. Well, the first person I think is going to get that done, I don't want to put the curse on, but it's got to be Silas or Silas, however you want to pronounce his name. He's been strong. He's been on the tail end of him. He really made him work for those first few races, and I'm sure he's going to come back strong in that McLaren at Silverstone next time out. Home race for us.
Yeah, it will be as well. I can't wait for that. It's going to be an absolute belter. We go to Silverstone in 3 weeks' time. But first off, we need to check the results of tonight. Cam Dance takes his 5th win out of 5 races. I cannot believe it. The New Zealander finishes just ahead of Jake Blackhall. That's Jake's best result of the season. Great to see him get that, especially as he started 14th on the grid. Christian Rose, another strong podium for McLaren, making sure that he's flying the flag while his teammate isn't here. Ben Hoffman, that has to be his best result as well by quite a long shot in this championship. I think before that, his best result was something like 9th place, I think. 8th place, actually, last time round in Spain. So he improves once again. Big improvement up to 4th. Adam Hedgecock and Tim Perry, hats off, boys. They were fantastic to watch all the way to the end. John Tusting, 7th, great points for him. Same with Martin Kenyon. And then all the cars are lapped down, pretty much most of the ones that were involved in that big accident. Pete Newman 9th with Khan Newen 10th. Kevin Zemstra in 11th with Ben Gregory, the last points finisher. Jack Werrell just misses out on points, but still was very entertaining once again. He'll be first out in qualifying at the British Grand Prix. Ed May was out of the race with a couple of laps to go. Same with Jakub Szymanski. And Jack Stiles, unfortunately, we lost him very early on due to the fact that his fast repair was not ticked when it came down to business. So, I really enjoyed that, Jack. I mean, to be fair, we always knew that it was going to be a crazy race here at Montreal, but it certainly didn't disappoint, did it?
No, I don't think it ever will with the nature of the circuit and the straights, and these guys have all been racing hard. It was a great show for that sort of midfield or 4th to 6th fight. Was it 4th to 6th or 5th to 7th? It was a three-way fight. I know that much, but it was great stuff. Look at the start that Zwemstra got. The start was absolutely insane. It's such a shame to see both of those Ferraris down the bottom end when they had such a good qualifying. I'm pretty sure there was contact here. Just watching this slow motion replay, Zwemstra absolutely sent it around the outside. And look at Dance. Look how close this gets. I don't know if that was fear or netcode.
Netcode, I think. I think that was definitely netcode. It was very close. I mean, I love watching these cars anyway from most angles, but to see this sort of field like that, you can see Jack Styles really tucks the car into the inside of the corner there as well. Nearly had contact from the car behind him. It's about time that we give people an interview, though. I suppose we ought to just get this out of the way nice and quickly, because he'll be fed up of talking to me by now. But your race winner, Cam Dance, makes it 5 out of 5. Fortunately for us, our graphic doesn't have the ability to rub it in even more, Cam, that you've got your 5th win in a row. But how are you feeling right now, mate? Because every single time it gets better and better.
Yeah, it seemingly doesn't seem to end at this rate, but yeah, I think if what happened with the likes of Pete and that on lap 2 hadn't have happened, I think it would have been a bit better of a race. I was actually looking forward to this race being a lot more battle intense with the fact you don't have so much straights to deal with, so draft isn't so much of a problem. But yeah, it's just really unfortunate that caught up pretty much half the field, that shunt behind me. So yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day. I mean, I fully didn't expect to win by about 4 odd seconds, but yeah, it's just one of those races that's pretty much just handed to you.
Yeah, it's a shame it went that way, but at the same time for your championship, it's even better. 126 points in the bank now. Actually, 127 because you got an extra championship point for pole position. It was quite the perfect evening, but Christian Rose stole the fastest lap of the race on the very last lap there at the end. Otherwise, it would have been a complete grand slam. Now, next time round, we go to a much more wide-open, flat place, which is, of course, Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. Is it a circuit that you enjoy, considering it's the old one, not the new one?
Yeah, I haven't actually done many races around there recently, so I'll have to do some laps. But yeah, it's typically a good track. I mean, with the fact you don't have so much runoff area, it's going to make it very, very important, the fact that you don't make any mistakes. So it'll be fascinating to see what happens. Probably going to have a lot more draft as well, back to the old draft train sort of stuff. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what sort of racing we have there.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to it as well, mate. Is there anyone you'd like to give a thanks to before I throw you back into the fishpool with them lot?
Yeah, just obviously shout out to all the boys for the good racing as always, and obviously you and Jack for the awesome commentary on the broadcast and putting on the awesome series.
Lovely stuff. Well done again, Cam. Amazing form from you once again, mate. We look forward to seeing how you do at Silverstone.
Yeah, cheers.
Well, like I said, Jack, it looks like it's going to take something very serious to stop Cam Dance from taking these race wins. He just seems to be able to churn them out time and time again. But it's nice that he, he references, recognises, and respects the sort of race-changing incident behind. You know, he knows that without that, it would have been very different. Oh,
absolutely. I think quite regularly we see sort of the top drivers in any field, in any car, have the mental capacity, I think, to be aware of so much stuff that happens around them, be able to recall all the little things that happen in the race, even if it wasn't anything to do with their race, especially if they've got communication with their teammates and how their races are going on. And to be fair, he sounds like he's relishing that challenge. He doesn't want to be handed wins. He definitely wants to have the fight. Obviously, he'll take this one, no problem. But he's looking forward to a fight, it seems, and potentially losing that streak for the first time.
Yeah, definitely. It's I think the day will come. It just depends on, we need to wait and see when, I guess. One man that definitely there will be a date set for, I imagine, right now is Christian Rose. First off, Shifty, congratulations on Baby Rose, mate. And congratulations on another strong result tonight. You must be chuffed with another podium.
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, it wasn't the most interesting of races from my part, but I imagine same for you guys in the commentary box after that shunt, which I was lucky to get through. And then I just realised that Jake was quicker than me. Thought I'll let him go, see if we can make a dent into Cam. made a small dent, but nothing. You know, we probably need another 80, 90 laps really to catch him.
Yeah, it certainly seemed progressive, and it was a shame about the incident early on, but I suppose with this sort of racing and this sort of circuit, we knew that there may have been an incident coming at some point, I guess, but there were some good battles further down once everybody got back out of the pits again. But I mean, as Cam said, it was a bit of a shame that incident, whether it happened or not, happened so early on, didn't it?
Yeah, so because, you know, Cam was very lucky that he'd just taken the lead back and was able to avoid that. So, yeah, I think the rest, P2 down to P8, P9, caught up in that.
Yeah.
He just had to cruise around from then, really, but that's a shame, but I will go again next time.
Indeed, and next time will be Silverstone. It's going to be a lot more slipstream infested there, isn't it?
It's definitely going to be the word of the day.
It will be, mate. Well, I look forward to seeing these old school liveries on an old circuit either way. It'll be great fun. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to while I've got you?
Yeah, just a huge shout out to everyone at Pure Sims once again. And obviously to you and Jack for the commentary, and yourself for organising the series. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And once again, congratulations, Shifty. It's lovely to see, mate. Really, really pleased for you. And we look forward to seeing you in 3 weeks.
Cheers, mate. Take care.
Cheers. Well, one more to get through here. And I'll tell you what, why don't we speak to... Actually, you take your pick, Jack. I was thinking either Hedgecock or Gregory.
I don't know how well they get along, but you can bring them in for a chat both.
Oh,
for a chat if you want,
okay.
See how they react to each other.
All right, well, we're doing a social experiment here, boys. Jack's decided to bring both of you in for a chat. We'll start with Mr. Hedge in the Sauber because he finished ahead. But Hedge, that was a lively race. That even right to the flag, you had Mr. Perry all over you. That was great fun, surely.
I was pedaling as quickly as I could. I tell you what, if I was at Butlins on one of those swans, I'd have been on a different lake, mate. I was going for it.
You've broken the sound barrier.
I tell you what, kids would be crying and all sorts. Ice creams would be flying everywhere. No, it was great fun. It was absolutely. It was. I got really lucky at the start though. I think I got tapped going into turn one, and then I missed the big one.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It worked out all right. But yeah, a lot of fun. Love this track. And it's a lot of fun in this car for sure.
And what were you thinking when Tim was all over you in that battle? Was there any sort of moments where you were a bit scared of what he was doing, or was it all, were you confident in the fact that you could race him and you could get close like that?
I mean, you'll know this because it's very akin to how you and I used to race. Like, there's people you can trust, and you know that an accident is an accident, so you just go for it. Obviously, we have a bit of banter because we're both boosted drivers, and he was pushing. He did overtake me a couple of laps to go, and we kind of banged wheels as I was getting back past him. And yeah, it was great fun though. Really, really enjoyable. And Tim is a guy that you can race hard, and he'll always give you just enough room.
Well, that's exactly what you want from somebody, and someone that got just about enough room. And actually, we just cut to him as Jack Werrell launched off the side of him into a Ferrari in the early stages. It wasn't the last time you had near contact with Jack Werrell in that race, was it, Ben? You had a busy one with him.
Yeah, it was. Honestly, that was a bloody good race with him. I really enjoyed it. Like, the initial contact when he again, I can't blame him. He's trying to avoid the big crash. We all it's just a cluster and no one could get anywhere. But ended up being a quite good scrap for like 20 odd laps with him. But yeah, I think we did all right considering. So I'm really, really proud of my teammate Carl Newen for getting that 10th spot, getting some proper points on the board.
Well, yeah, that's all important for the Teams Championship, and it's actually the first time this season that both Jordans have been in the points at the end of a race as well, so it's great to see you getting on the board like that. And, I mean, the qualifying performance as well was mega. You can't get more identical than that. I want to ask you both, actually, boys. I'll come back to you quickly, Hedge. Silverstone next time out. It's the old one, so it's a lot more wide and open. It's a bit more bumpy. There's going to be slipstream everywhere. What are your thoughts about that one?
Do you want another random stat like you had for this one for me?
Yes.
I am the Majors Clubman Lotus 79 champion around there.
Okay. Well, that bodes well.
I love open wheelers on that old circuit. It's amazing.
Well, we should hopefully see that converted into some form of a result for you then, mate. Hopefully. Ben, anyone, any thoughts, I should say, for Silverstone? It's the old 2008 layout.
I am extremely excited. I expect Bridge is going to be about 2 or 3 bloody wide, but you know, it's going to be really, really fun.
At minimum.
Honestly, it's one of my favourite circuits. Like, I'm planning on driving there for reals in a month or so. So, like, I'm super excited.
Well, so are we, mate. Really, really look forward to that one. Hedge, back to you. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Just you boys in the comms booth. I have you on in the background as I'm driving along. It's always fun listening to you guys. I want to say harp on. Like, I think that's an injustice. Is it though? I don't know. It's fun listening to you. I enjoy it, and I enjoy watching it back as well. And then the boosted boys as usual. You know me.
Lovely stuff. Hedge and Ben, any thanks from you?
Yeah, all the boosted boys, teammate for absolutely kicking into high gear today. That was perfect Peugeot engines, exactly the same. It's great. But no, all the boosted guys, everyone in the chat, and you guys as well. It's been awesome today.
Great stuff. Well, thanks very much for jumping in, boys. You can thank Jack for trying the social experiment with the pair of you. I forgot you were both in boosted, and you probably get on better than you imagine, so that's all right. Anyway, thanks very much, boys, and we'll see you at Silverstone.
Cheers, chaps.
Cracking stuff. Nice idea, Jack. That worked out very, very well indeed. You certainly had a noisy evening tonight, and so did I, actually. There were a few moments, weren't there, where we really sort of had to gasp, but Cam Dance, well, he took our breath away in a different manner.
Yeah, do you know what was funny, actually? I was mesmerised in that slow motion shot of both of those cars trying to get back to the pits.
Yeah.
Their cars were absolutely... look at these. They're fully broken. That Jordan is full lock right everywhere, which is crazy.
Look at that.
He's trying to drive in a straight line right now, and he keeps hitting the wall. They've done a cracking job there to do that. I was going to say something else and I've forgotten. I think it was... I was just wondering where Adam was going to go with that. I was hanging on his sentence, waiting for him to finish that. I was like, oh, what was he going to say?
Yeah, I was...
Harping on?
Yeah, I was like, you what, bruv? Yeah. I was getting my knuckle duster out my drawer. No, it was another good night there, wasn't it? You know, it's a shame that there was the incident. It's a shame the grid wasn't as big, but... You know, we always say real life comes first. We, of course, wish all the best to the drivers that couldn't be here tonight. But I think anyone now that can stop Cam Dance... Well, they need to get on with it, don't they, really? We're nearly halfway through the season, and Cam has got a big old championship lead.
Yeah, massive, and I look forward to Silverstone this month. It's 3 weeks, obviously, every time, but we've got another race this month. That's quite cool.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see how these cars dance their way through that circuit.
It will be absolutely wonderful as ever. Well, thank you very much, Jack. It's been an absolute pleasure once again. Thank you, everybody that has joined and watched us tonight. I'm sorry again for all of the connection issues and all of that. It's just one of those things, I'm afraid, you're going to have to live with my broadcasting until we figure out what the problem is. Either that or I'm going to have to tell Beth and Harry to stay off the internet for the rest of their lives. Either way, thank you very much for joining us, everybody. It's been a pleasure. I've been joined by the wonderful Jack Johns. I've been Chaz Draycott, and this has been round 5 of the CDM Boremula 1 World Championship. We'll see you in Silverstone in 3 weeks' time. But for now, have a good one.
Opportunistic, still rubbing panels as they go together. It's folded the wing mirror in on Gerardo's car. Misano is such a difficult circuit for these guys to get right. There's a lot of start-stop sections around the back. It's a very, very quick section as well.
It's a fantastic start from the 23. They're 4 wide there by the look of it.